And joining us now on America's Forum, Matt Philbin, managing editor of the Media Research Center's Culture and Media Institute. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Matt, is the media shielding Islam?
Yes, they are. Absolutely. In a sort of tragic mistake of timing, Monday, the trial of Tsarnaev in Boston, the Boston bomber, marathon bomber, the jury selection got underway. All three networks covered it. All three networks talked very carefully about the fact that he may get the death penalty, and not one of the networks mentioned Islam as a possible motive for his bombing. This after the kid had actually written a manifesto when he was hiding out in that boat where he was eventually caught.
So, Matt, and we see the pictures of the Tsarnaev brothers, the surviving one on the right, and then some of the surveillance video. It was preceded by the aftermath of that device going off there at the finish line at the Boston Marathon. Why is there a reluctance on the part of big media to accurately describe and label the associations and beliefs of the Tsarnaev brothers?
Look, these are the same people who are still waiting for the post 9/11 backlash against Muslims that never happened. They believe in their hearts that America is bigoted and violent, and that naming Islam, naming Muslims as the culprits, is going to result in a wave of anti-Muslim violence, which never actually happens. And but they think the worst of America. Also, there's the fact that, if you name them, they may come get you. So I think it's a little bit of cowardice and a little bit of distrust on the for Americans.
Matt, don't you think there could be concern, though, that by calling these terrorists Muslims instead of just terrorists, that they might receive more backlash? In other words, that more Muslims might decide to join these Islamic extremists?
I would be hesitant to give that kind of credit to the media. I don't think they think in terms of that. That old thing about, we're fighting them in Iraq. When we fought them in Iraq, we created more terrorists. It just doesn't work that way.
Fair enough, Matt. Let me return to the topic that it seemed we were going to broach just a second ago. In the coverage of this, a lot of media outlets refuse to run the cartoons from Charlie Hebdo, worried about blaspheming Muhammad and worried about Muslim sensitivities. Are publications right to censor those documents?
No, I don't think they're right. Not in this instance. Look, you can make arguments about whether they're appropriate to run or at any time. But in this instance, when they are essentially at the center of an atrocity like this, I think the world needs to see them. The world needs to see what supposedly caused these guys to go and kill 12 people.
Fair enough. Matt, we appreciate very much your perspective. Matt Philbin from the Media Research Institute, talking about big media and self-censorship. Obviously, we hasten to add, as my friend John Bachman coined the phrase, we're not the media, we're Newsmax TV. And coming up next on Newsmax TV, Ed Berliner with Midpoint at high noon in the East. That'll be followed by the Steve Malzberg Show at 3 o'clock Eastern. Back here tomorrow morning, 9 in the East, 6 in the West. Until then, stay brave, stay free, stay tuned.